Hey Kama Kozzy, you recovered from the excitement of part 1?
Yep, I'm ready for part 2. Let's do this.
Charlotte Flair.
I'm sorry, I just can't get over the fact that this looks like Charlotte basically gave up and eliminated herself from the Royal Rumble match.
This place didn't even bother to have a WrestleMania sign and had to make it digital.
Wrestling event in Arizona always showing shots of the hot desert cliche.
Says the guy who has the Arizona desert as background image for this video.
Can the real AJ Styles?
First the new Daniel Bryan, and now we got the real AJ Styles. And if I'm being perfectly honest, all we've seen from this real AJ Styles is absolutely nothing that he wasn't already before. No consequences were made from AJ Styles hitting Mr. McMahon. As a matter of fact, this is basically never mentioned again. I was expecting a more badass version of AJ after this moment, but instead we get the same disappointing AJ. What a shame.
This new Daniel Bryan is nothing except a discount CM Punk. Lives a certain lifestyle and tries to force everyone to live it too. Hell, he's got his own version of the straight edge society.
I use my power for the greater good.
I use my power for what I believe is the greater good, even despite the fact that I'm a psychopath who has absolutely no idea what he's talking about, cliche. I'm just saying, not every wrestler needs terrible CGI graphics attached to their entrance.
We are in a stadium and AJ still sadly resorted to using his non-pyro pyro.
Who is the real AJ Styles?
The way this night goes, the real AJ Styles doesn't even exist. Nothing about AJ tonight is different than what we've seen since his debut.
Royal Rumble is presented by...
Skip!
I guess we'll call that Daniel Bryan's crawl walk or something? We are nearly 3 hours into this pay-per-view and in part 2 of the sins of this pay-per-view. Take a wild guess on whether or not I care what the #1 trend is.
My guess is that you don't care.
That was a rhetorical question.
The title can only change hands by pinfall or submission.
Commentators constantly state the obvious about how championships can change hands in a match cliche.
Be the case, AJ Styles' emotions could be.
That creepy picture of a mask suddenly gives me Happy Death Day vibes.
Be the case, AJ Styles' emotions could be.
That creepy picture of a mask suddenly gives me Happy Death Day vibes.
Christian, you already said that line.
I did? Oh crap, I must be stuck in a time loop! Heel wrestler escapes the ring to catch a breather when we all know he's scared of his opponent cliche. The referee doing everything in his power to get Daniel away from AJ in the corner, except the one thing that'll actually help his case, which is counting.
Then you notice the pace of this match, no unnecessary risks.
That might explain why this match is boring me.
Trap is...
Well, obviously somebody watched Shayna Baszler do that to Bianca Belair the previous night.
While I know Daniel Bryan was letting the referee know that he understood the 5 count, it looks more like he's saying talk to the hand.
Combination.
Daniel obviously jumped on his own accord during that moment. Most likely, though, the ring was an eco-friendly trampoline. If that even makes sense. Probably doesn't, but I'll still send it anyways.
All about the WWE Championship.
Commentator unknowingly reminds us what title is obviously on the line in this match because they've got nothing else better to say, cliche. We're in a freaking baseball stadium and nearly everybody is fast asleep. When the WWE Championship match is one of the most quiet matches of the night, you know something is very wrong. Daniel was watching AJ the whole time and could have easily moved out of the way at any moment.
In Daniel's defense, he did have his hair in his face.
Doesn't have enough hair to consider himself the Grudge though, that's for sure.
They know about each other.
Haha, that lady thought AJ was gonna run right into her. Oh, now the referee starts counting these two out after they've both been outside the ring for the better part of 2 minutes.
WWE Universe springboard.
Even if Daniel didn't counter with his knees, AJ would have landed the 450 splash on his legs anyway. And it's not the first time I've noticed AJ attempt to splash his opponent's legs for whatever reason.
Styles.
Tap.
Now AJ Styles.
What the hell was that? A fickle force kick?
And yet you criticize me for making Star Wars references.
Daniel Bryan's enjoying it.
No shit, really?
The new Daniel Bryan.
But wait, now
Oh no, I hurt my knee really badly, so naturally the first thing to do would be to climb the top rope and put more weight on the already injured knee, which could cause him to lose his balance and fall out of the ring. Brilliant and totally flawless plan.
WWE Champion.
And that's why it's a bad idea to climb to the top rope with an injured leg.
Styles. Oh, wait a minute. Bryan.
Hasn't AJ suffered enough damage to his styles throughout 2018? I'm surprised there anything left down there.
To the midsection. AJ
AJ was so quick on hitting that suplex that he nearly ripped Daniel Bryan's trunks off.
from the apron. Was thinking about...
AJ Styles has still not learned his lesson about attempting the phenomenal form when his opponent is literally an arm's length away. The random and confusing return of Rowan. And where the hell is Harper? What happened to the whole Bludgeon Brothers thing? That was actually doing well. I get that they were both injured, but come on.
Look at the size of Eric Rowan.
Rowan has been in WWE for several years and Corey Graves is somehow still impressed with his size.
Also, it's just Rowan, Corey. He dropped the Eric name over a year ago.
Hold that leg. Oh!
The referee gets knocked down at the crucial point in the match cliche, and with the coincidental timing of Rowan's arrival, I saw this coming a mile away.
In the face and Bryan's good.
Daniel has retained his title, but due to the lack of electricity in this match, nobody seems to give a shit. Not even about Rowan's appearance.
Also, victory due to outside interference is always a sin.
Bryan. Oh, there's the...
And another post-match assault. I'm getting bored of saying that all the time, and seeing that all the time. Previously on NXT. Also, if this brawl was to set up halftime heat the following week, then why wasn't it aired at the conclusion of NXT TakeOver Phoenix, instead of immediately once they went off the air? Makes no sense. In this tale of the tape, WWE forgot to put in an additional fact to the amount of days that Brock Lesnar has been Universal Champion, and that's a sentence saying, for over 550 of those days, he was absent for no reason. Also, the name Ultimate Disgrace to Wrestling is somehow not in the stats of Brock Lesnar. Wrong! As much as I want to wipe my memory for saying this, Brock Lesnar is the Universal Champion. Now, why am I bringing that up? Because for one thing, I think you probably forgot about that for the 500th time like I did. But mainly, I brought it up because the graphics behind Brock say that he's the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, when in reality, that title belongs to Daniel Bryan. Hell, Daniel retained that title literally 15 minutes ago.
Also, Brock Lesnar is the Universal Champion.
Paul Heyman's I'm watching you masturbate face.
And look at now, Finn Balor!
I'm honestly surprised that Brock Lesnar didn't learn his lesson from the last time he turned his back on his opponent before the bell rang, when Roman Reigns kicked his ass and humiliated him at SummerSlam. Man, that was epic, though Roman still should have gone for the head that night. Go after his legs, you idiot! Climbing the ropes just to punch Brock in the face is only going to give the advantage to him.
Brock Lesnar, frightening, fierce.
If you're going to throw Finn Balor against the barricade, then what was the point of even tossing him back in the ring?
Paul Heyman holding up the Universal title in the background.
And Balor, though, from
We interrupt Royal Rumble 2019 to bring you SummerSlam 2012.
the corner of the table, and a belly-to-belly.
Fuck this shit.
Right to the midsection, sling blade.
That one moment when Brock Lesnar is the only wrestler who actually landed the sling blade at the right moment, instead of falling too early before Finn could finish spinning around like everyone else does.
Away, and there's Brock Lesnar.
Here's a few sins removed for that awesome way Finn Balor escaped the F5. We don't often see that anymore.
Balor over the top rope. He's got to continue this as Balor launches.
What use is flipping over the ropes into Brock 3 times going to do for you, Finn? Not going to help you win because he's on the outside. The return of Brock constipated Lesnar.
The break. Lesnar with a Kimura locked in, and Balor taps out. Finn.
Oh, I didn't even hit the sin counter that time. Kama, did you do that?
No, I think it was the actual ring bell at the event that did that.
Huh. Well, it's understandable that it did that because I was about to do the same thing.
Right after Finn Balor.
Oh, fuck off! You already won the match, just get the fuck out of our lives already! Throwing in another 1,000 sins simply because it's Brock Lesnar and he's the biggest disgrace to all of professional wrestling. Sadly, I'm still too exhausted from the previous Royal Rumble match. This event was awesome, but man, I don't know if I can handle 2 Royal Rumble matches in the same night anymore.
Elias couldn't at least do his entrance before beginning his concert. It pretty much spoiled his entry in the Royal Rumble for the fans attending.
Also, random draw my ass, because what a coincidence that the one guy who's entered number 1 is a guy who is well known for performing concerts in between matches. Sorry, Bray Wyatt, but it looks like Elias has stolen your Fireflies, and also, where the hell are you? Elias wasting all the time in the world staring at the audience instead of continuing his concert, or even beginning his concert. We already know the Rumble match is going to be an hour long, so why does the time before the match begins have to be an hour long too?
We've been here for 4.5 hours. Let's get the match underway, Elias.
That's what I'm saying.
Although, Corey is wrong about the time frame because 3 hours and 45 minutes is not equivalent to 4.5 hours.
48,193 people.
Even if it's a wrestler being specific about the number of fans in attendance, I still don't give a shit.
Diamondbacks, because they have never seen this amount of people.
Elias would be great at CinemaSins 2 expansion. 3 minutes of build-up to a concert that never happens. It's a typical day in the career of Elias, and a typical annoyance in the life of Christian Maracle. Cool to see Jeff Jarrett, but like I've said before, I have seen too many old wrestlers show up to compete past their prime to the point where I just roll my eyes whenever I see it again.
I'm so happy right now, tears are running down my leg.
Gross.
That's J.E.
Can we please start the freaking match already?
I get interrupted almost all the time.
Actually, every single time.
Well, there actually was that time Elias did finish a concert.
Well, I never saw it, so I assume it took place on a house show. So I'll rephrase and say Elias gets interrupted every single time on TV.
A future Hall of Famer.
You haven't even been here for 2 years. Way too early to consider being a future WWE Hall of Famer.
Do you want gotta do a duet with Elias.
Skippity, skippity, skip, skip, skip.
Why couldn't you just say skip?
Because that's been said many times already for this show.
Even if it thankfully begins this match, still gotta put in the pre-match assault. It takes 8 freaking minutes from Elias' introduction to the point where this match actually begins. That's gotta be a record, isn't it? Further proof that briefly turning Elias into a face was the worst decision WWE could have ever done with this character. Not everyone has to be on both sides of the spectrum in order to have interesting character changes. I know that Jeff Jarrett refers to himself as Double J, but from the looks of his outfit, his initials are JL tonight. And now I'm wondering what the L stands for.
Go! Come on, Double J!
Welcome back to the commentary desk, Jerry Lawler. Now quit your cheerleading. Oh, I've missed you.
Out Jarrett.
Elias realized that he forgot to say his most famous catchphrase during the build-up for his concert. And too late for that because hardly anyone can hear you anymore.
No, don't, please.
Don't do it.
Why not? Jeff is equally in the match as anyone else. If you're saying he shouldn't do it because he's old, then need I remind you that it's Jeff's own fault for choosing to step into the ring in the first place. You don't get special treatment all because you're old here. It's only when Jeff Jarrett is eliminated that the referees realize that the ring had to be cleared out. And I mean the stuff that were on the floor prior to the guitar pieces.
After Shinsuke Nakamura.
The fans desperately trying to sing along to Shinsuke Nakamura's former theme that no longer exists, and as usual, it's off sync.
Delivery's awesome. Content's terrible.
Delivery is awesome, content is terrible? JBL must be watching Christian Maracle's channel.
Hey!
Dude, it was just a joke, relax.
Discount The Undertaker. Also, Elias walks across an entire side of the ring and Shinsuke somehow doesn't do anything to counter. Old School is one of the easiest moves to counter in all of wrestling. We're only on the 4th entrant and we've already had way too many surprise entrants.
It's obviously the gold medal.
Elias is barely hanging on whatsoever to the point where a baseball slide will do the trick, and yet Kurt Angle looks like he's not even trying to eliminate him. I'm already furious over the fact that we had to wait nearly 10 minutes before the match began, but I'm getting more frustrated at the lack of entertainment in the first 5 minutes. I've seen terrible CGI graphics throughout the night, but this is definitely the worst out of all of them.
If Big E went on to headline WrestleMania, maybe the last WrestleMania we ever had.
That's racist.
WWE forgot to buzz in the next entrant, assholes.
After seeing Candice LeRae enter the Women's Royal Rumble match earlier tonight, are we really surprised that Johnny Gargano is coincidentally in the Men's Royal Rumble match as well?
Completely agree with you. Look at Gargano even... Oh!
Johnny Gargano's first moment to shine on a big-time match, and he immediately botches one of his first moves.
Maybe the Singh brothers will win the Royal Rumble match.
The Singh brothers are not even participants in this match. Corey Graves is such an idiot.
This is disgusting.
Skip!
Oh!
Haha, Samoa Joe slipped on his towel. You didn't think I noticed that, did you?
Shinsuke Nakamura did, and I think Samoa...
The way Samoa Joe just casually walks away from Johnny Gargano was no doubt the funniest moment in Johnny's appearance in this match. Here's a send-off for the unintentionally hilarious comedy.
Gravity, Corey.
Samoa Joe just eliminated his own towel from the Royal Rumble match. That's not fair. The towel didn't even get a chance.
But somebody else is driving.
If Kurt Hawkins is desperate to end his losing streak, why would you immediately strike Samoa Joe first upon entering the Rumble match?
Titus O'Neil slow.
One send-off for the callback to Titus World Slide at the greatest Royal Rumble just because that's something we still laugh at to this day.
There goes Titus eliminated.
Well, at least Kurt Hawkins got some sort of thing to brag about. Only took his entire career, plus he still fears Grimm.
Who still fears me, most definitely.
I wouldn't be so sure of that.
Look out!
Well, that sinew removed just got put back because of Kurt's premature celebration, which led to his elimination.
Which New Day member will it be?
Can the commentators not see the CGI on their monitors? If so, then how can they not tell that it's obviously Kofi Kingston based on the hairstyle shown? Found a piece of irony in this sequence. Kofi Kingston enters at number 12 in his 12th Royal Rumble match. Coincidence? I think not!
I don't like that name, Kingslayer.
I don't like the name Kingslayer either, particularly because the King, Seth Rollins, supposedly slain, still competed even after their match at WrestleMania 33. You guys obviously know who I'm talking about.
Mustafa Ali is really trying too hard to look like an exact replica of Seth Rollins. I'm just saying.
Samoa Joe didn't fall down. He just does random gravity checks.
What? Copyright infringement! Ha! Said it before you even had a chance to steal it away from me for the 3rd straight time.
Well, I figured you were going to do that, so I didn't bother.
I mean, Ali was history.
Can we please get rid of those sirens in Dean Ambrose's theme? Dean Ambrose literally just stands there and watches Kofi Kingston save himself from being eliminated. If I were Dean, I would have stomped on his ankle and completed the elimination. What an idiot. Also, Kofi Kingston's saves have become way too stale at this point, and I would be totally fine if he never did any more crazy saves, because they get less crazy with every passing year.
Number 16.
Michael Cole believes that we somehow skipped over the number 15 for some reason.
This matchup, no way Jose in the ring, no way Jose.
Calculated, sadly only 2.2 seconds. Not enough to beat Santino Marella's 2.1 second record or the Warlord's 2.0 second record. Just give it up already, WWE. Every chance you get to try and break the Warlord's record is going to fail. Every single time. We interrupt Royal Rumble 2019 to bring you Royal Rumble 2013. So far, there have been a lot of callbacks and references to previous events, and it's annoying. If No Way Jose actually believes that freaking Drew McIntyre wants to dance with him, he's a moron.
Drew has no win.
Pre-entrant post-elimination assault.
So Kofi is still alive.
Come on, Christian. You got to admit that was awesome.
No, I don't.
Well, because I'm also a sinner, I'm removing another sin for this cool save by Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods.
Ugh, how much longer is this match? Dean Ambrose is just chilling on the corner, making himself prone for an easy elimination. Is he trying to lose on purpose or something?
Here comes Andrade.
I am sinning the WWE for shortening the awesome name of Andrade Cien Almas to simply Andrade. If you're gonna shorten it, why couldn't you select Cien? Or just take out Andrade altogether and have Cien be the first name? Instead, WWE went for the most uninterested name out of those three.
Francisco.
Corey literally says Francisco for no reason at all. Like, he seriously just said it out of the blue for no reason other than reasons.
Now Drew McIntyre has.
Drew McIntyre ducked before Aleister Black could even spin around and prepare for the Black Mask.
Oh, kick the elbow.
Dean Ambrose had enough of WWE and eliminated himself from the company. Dean Ambrose had enough of the Royal Rumble match and decided to eliminate himself in unconvincing fashion.
What do you bet Shelton Benjamin regrets returning to the WWE by now, considering the current run is 2 times worse than his last run?
That's huge.
Haha, fuck you, JBL.
Look at that.
You call that a deep 6? I was tempted to turn on Spin Me Right Round because that was more of a deep 12 or something. That's Apollo Crews, you moron. Last I checked, Shelton Benjamin was wearing wrestling pants that actually went down his legs, whereas Apollo was just wearing trunks.
Would be in the first row.
Aleister Black popped his middle finger back into place despite the fact that the middle finger was never snapped out of place by Pete Dunne at all. If anything, he should be popping back his other fingers.
Sends Pete Dunne.
Well, looks like Pete is done with the Royal Rumble match.
That pun was so bad, I'm adding a further sin to you.
You can't add sins to the sinner.
Looks like I just did.
You know what? I've just about had it with you. You only came on here to spite me. I should have known. I'm starting to think that Grimm's Toy Show put you up to this so he can mess with me again.
Okay, now you're just overreacting. Can we continue?
Whatever, I'm on to you. Lio Rush, you're not even an entrant in this match, so please go away.
Lashley trying to hang on. And he's
What's more humiliating than lasting 12 seconds in the Royal Rumble match? Saving yourself from elimination, only to eliminate yourself by accident. From this point forward, since Lio Rush is the man of the hour, Bobby Lashley is hereby dubbed the man of 12 seconds.
I don't know how this is going to help anybody win the Royal Rumble.
Actually, Bobby Lashley attacking Seth Rollins is going to help Seth eventually win the Rumble, since he'll spend a majority of this time on the outside of the ring.
Baron Corbin cost Braun the Universal Championship. No.
Don't you fucking dare try to defend Baron Corbin's actions from that piece of shit Crown Jewel event.
I think Crown Jewel Strowman set the record for eliminations.
I didn't know the greatest Royal Rumble match took place at Crown Jewel. JBL is such an idiot.
Eliminating McIntyre, sweep.
Dolph Ziggler eliminates Drew McIntyre and immediately climbs up the ropes where any wrestler can just give him a small push and he'd be out too.
Gotta be kidding me. And now Mysterio.
Here's a couple sins removed. That was well timed and well done. Probably should not have been singing before entering the match. Even Carmella didn't waste any time getting to the ring upon internet number 30. Also, as promised, since R-Truth was obviously internet number 30 since last December, here's an additional sin.
R-Truth is off sync with his own song. Ugh, this is cringe.
I'm not kidding. I'm removing 5 sins for this moment, whether you like it or not. The reason is because Nia Jax made more history tonight than anyone else did, and that includes Becky Lynch. Nobody could have ever predicted that Nia Jax would compete in 2 consecutive Rumble matches in the same night. Whether it was a moment fans loved or hated, it deserves sin removers for unpredictability. And yet fans think WWE is never unpredictable.
Jax looking to eliminate.
And another sin removed because Nia is the first wrestler of any gender to compete in Royal Rumble matches for both genders in the same night and get an elimination in both Rumble matches for male and female. Hey, history has to be acknowledged even if you don't like it.
Oh my God! No!
Here's a removal of 10 sins for that hilarious and epic RKO from Randy Orton to Nia Jax.
Nah, Christian, that's not enough. Remove more.
No, I make the rules around here, Kama. You're just a guest.
Yeah, but you used to do that all the time. We want that Christian Maracle back.
What are you talking about? I never changed.
And this is why I said I was going to kick your ass at sinning. Removing 100 sins for that RKO from Randy Orton to Nia Jax.
No, please, stop!
Too late.
Will you two stop staring at each other and just fight before Seth and Braun recover and get back into the ring?
At WrestleMania, in one of the main events.
There's only one main event at WrestleMania.
Ziggler zigzag.
That was not even close to being a zigzag. What are you talking about, Michael?
We interrupt Royal Rumble 2019 to bring you Royal Rumble 2004. So many references to previous Rumble events tonight.
Rollins.
Well, it was nice having you on here, Kama Kozzy. Thanks for being the guest narrator. Now get out.
Hold on, gotta make one final mark here. Seth Rollins entered at number 10 and lasted over 40 minutes. He definitely earned this victory, so I'll remove 10 more sins.
No, it was way too predictable that Seth was going to win, so it actually will gain a sin instead.
Come on, Christian. Remember the good times when you always had removed a lot of sins for epic moments? Why not go back to that?
Because that is the past and not what I do anymore.
Well, for my last mark on this video, I'll remove 10 sins for Seth's victory because he definitely earned it. There we go. Don't worry, we're just having fun. Thanks for having me, bro.
This is not over, Kama Kozzy. The optimism is dead. All of that means nothing to me now. You said that you could kick my ass at what I do? Well, I'm gonna kick your ass at what you do. And I don't give a crap what the people think.